What's going on, y'all? It's J Smoke Reviews here, back at it again with another video. Been a little bit of a dormant week, right? Took Thursday and Wednesday off because really we're just doing predictions up to this big weekend. We did John's Pandemonium predictions Monday. Tuesday we did URL's big weekend predictions, and through all that there was another announcement by EK throwing his own caffeine event, Rome. Going to be uploaded to Last Second C, I believe, and it is headlining Twork versus Jazz, which is what caught everyone's eyes, but he did drop the full card. 4 battles should be a quicker little prediction here. Just want to show love to any event that I think has any type of implications that on 2023 that could change the year, whether it's change Cody, change stock, if it has big battlers on it, or even just good matchups. We cover everything on this channel that we'd like to. We'll be streaming on Caffeine October 28th. And without further ado, let's get right into EK's card. So starting from the bottom of the card, top 3 battles I love on this card, man. We're going to say a lot of nice things about those top 3 battles. But starting out, we do have Real Name Brandon versus Jay Mills. All right, so obviously Real Name Brandon, someone whose stock is not considered very high at the moment for a multitude of reasons. The footage is kind of cooked. The win-loss ratio is a little bit cooked. There hasn't been a huge improvement in the parts of the game that need improvement. The aggression is there. You know what I'm saying? He is base delivery. That's there. But the content is just so far behind, it feels like. And then on the flip side, you got Jay Mills, who is the ultimate content so far behind, guys. So you got... I don't even know what you got with this matchup. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to be professional about it, but at the end of the day, this one is insane on paper for all the reasons it shouldn't be insane, but maybe that'll add to entertainment. You know what I'm saying? The setting's pretty cool. We put Jay Mills in an empty-ish room, just pure rap. I think the rap, like the cadence and whatnot, will sound good as it usually does, but these two are going to have content warfare. I can't imagine what's about to come out of this battle, but it is the starter battle of the card. And then from there, you can get some matchups, which I really like, starting with B Magic versus Sheed Happens. How can you not like this with B Magic being how good he's been recently? A resurgence, man. I feel like this year, and last year he started showing shades. Like I saw a couple good B Magics. B Magic versus Danny Myers. B Magic versus Fonz in that 1-rounder. So his battles working up to getting better. And then this year, I mean, he really just shows you everything you need to be shown. B Magic versus Arsenal is fire. He completely cleaned up Lil Pesci over on GTX, which, it's a little Pesci, but the content itself was very good. Arsenal battle, like I said, was very good. He had Coach Corleone. I think that was the beginning of this year. Another very good outing for him. That's not even including all of B Magic's work. Super happy to see him back. I'm not going to say complete prime, but as good as he's been in years. And then Sheed is someone where we all know Sheed is immensely talented. Probably at this point, easily the best prospect that came out of the UM4 class. I know that Slade was there. We know what's going on with Slade right now. But Sheed is right there, like UM4 star piece. And I feel like in some of these star matchups, him and Bill was good, although I think it could have been better. Putting an outside 2 to me, it was always a little weird. But it did end up being a good battle. Him versus Shug. These debatable result, but we all know the footage of that battle isn't crazy. Crowd was dead for that. Then him versus 40 in a 1-rounder was okay, but it feels like all these top tier opportunities he's gotten so far, outside of Bill, which I thought he made a pretty good situation out of. The others haven't been crazy. And then his work under that is usually explosive. So there's always a good time to hear. There's always a good time to see Sheed. We just want to see maybe him put one explosive one on the board. You know what I'm saying? Versus top comp that can kind of get us moving in that direction where it's Sheed on the big cards versus big opponents regularly. Because I believe that he's about ready for that. With that being said, it does become tough because smaller room, both of them are so unique with the way that they actually rap their material. And we all know that B Magic might just have the best flow and battle rap, while She's unorthodoxness is going to play good against it. I think this is possibly going to be the best battle on the card if it's not Twork and Jazz, which we'll talk about in a second. I'm super duper excited for it. Going into it though, I am going to go Sheed 2-1. I just think that he's ready to take that next step. I could see it being debatable, but I think he is looking for a performance, as I spoke to, that is kind of blow it out of the water. I think Magic does good to the point that you're still happy with what Magic's been doing, but at this point in his career, wins and losses isn't exactly what's getting us happy. I mean, if we're back to Magic turning to a prime top tier, that would be fantastic. But right now, it's just about him putting on good footage, which I think he'll do. But I think Sheed needs the W a little bit more, which is why I have Sheed winning the battle. And that leaves you with the last two. It's just a 4 battle card. So the second to last battle of the card is Ace Amin versus Marv 1. Not mad at this one either. We all know that Marv, on terms of the independent circuit and really just anywhere, it's not like Marv's always battling the biggest names, but whether it is a fairly known name, an unknown name, Marv's been giving good material for the last few years, no question about it. Pretty much flawless record, especially when he's battling down. Him and Luke Castro had a goodie too, as by the way. But I got Ace in this one, to be perfectly honest with you. A lot of respect for what Marv does, as I said. But Ace has been having a fantastic year, man. Craig Lamar, you know what I'm saying? Although he dropped the first, he did end up winning that battle. Clean paper, body bag victory. True foe, body bag victory. Thought he won clear against a pretty good Arsenal game, one of his better performances of the year. And although I did have him losing, him versus Rum Nitty, in my opinion, was battle of the night from Summer Madness. So he's had so many things to hang his hat on. Even Los Prime on iBattle, pretty good. So he does good on his own circuit, you know what I'm saying? His own side missions. With that being said, I just think he raps better than Marv right now. I think he has a higher capability of dropping more haymakers than Marv. And when it comes to the pure rapping, which I think Marv is good at too, Ace is a specialist at, right? That's where Ace really gets the points from his style. That's what separates him from the rest. I just think that he's been on a roll, and this is another victory that I think Marv will do good, but I'm just so overly impressed with what Ace has done this year. I feel comfortable with him getting a 2-1 clear win. Like I said, though, with this setting, things change up. It's tough. The emptier the room, if it's shot more like which I'm expecting, kind of like EK and Nitty was, only 15 or 20 in the background, it evens the playing field across the board. Usually just got 10 or 15 people there appreciative of hearing the bars, and while that doesn't determine who wins, it determines the confidence of the battler a little bit, right? If a battler feels more confident, he delivers with more authority. There's just more that's really what it comes down to, delivering a performance with confidence, and then from there, for most of these are professionals, their content is going to speak for themselves. So in this smaller environment, I find it hard to believe there will be bad performances really across the board. Outside of Real Name Brandon and Jay Mills, that might be a little different, but it may even help them, right? And I think it'll help in this battle as well. But with that being said, I think it's going to be a good battle. Can't bet against Ace in 2023 right now. And that leaves us with the main event, which is Twork versus Jazz. Humongous match. We know what Jazz been doing this year in terms of taking men. Charlie Clips, Loso, Rum Nitty, and now Twork, which is a very full schedule, not including the women she's battled this year, which is really just RX, if I'm correct, unless I'm forgetting one. But what can you say? You know what I'm saying? She continues here, but maybe versus her most dangerous threat stylistically yet in Twork. I think Jazz, the one loss that people talked about Jazz taking her career, we all know is official, right? Power puncher on stage. Now, this isn't on stage, but how much more of a power puncher are you going to get than what Twork's been doing this year? And we are very close to this being the best year of Twork's career, really objectively. What he's done with Legends, what he's done at a lower rate. It's not just the pure consistency and not choking, it's the material as well. Diverse attacks. He's dropping haymakers, you know what I'm saying? But he's also working on jabs and just a little bit of the flow pockets in the middle. He's angling within that. His whole third round versus Hollow is a what do you call it? A kind of like a costume, right? He does the Lux dress up that Lux did versus Hollow, and addresses the lean angle in one of the best ways it's been addressed in a minute. I think it's going to be a great battle. Jazz has the tendency of making these battles debatable, so I wouldn't be shocked if it was. You know, she's an all-time great in her own right, but I'm not. Similar to a couple battlers, I'm just not betting against matchup-wise unless they're against each other and I have to choose. Not betting against Twork right now. He's making a late Cody run, if I do say so myself. It looks like the second half of his year is going to be really bigged up strength of schedule-wise compared to the first half. He's rapping at an amazing rate, performing at an amazing rate, regardless of the opponent or size of stage. And for that reason, although in a great battle, I do have Twork 2-1. And that is my full synopsis here of EK's Rome card. Looking forward to it. You know what I'm saying? This is a little bit more of a condensed one, obviously, 4 battles. And it's hard to predict when I don't know how the setting is actually going to affect the battles like that. I think setting is always a big part of battles. For the most part, when you talk about a new setting, obviously I believe it's inspired by the Christopher Nolan Batcave. Big superhero comic guy myself, noticed that immediately, and I think it's cool with like the lights, you know what I'm saying, the lights above, but I don't know, I think it's just going to play out like a small room and play out similar to, like I said, how EK and Nitty played out, which is an amazing battle for those of you that haven't seen it. And if that's the case, the footage is going to be good. You know what I'm saying? Winner, loser. It's harder to predict those things because we don't know how the particular battler's style is going to mesh with the environment. But with what the environment looks like, you fill in that 15 or 20 people there just to give a little bit of reaction and interaction. I think that your footage is going to be great here, and I'm excited to see what EK is doing here. And maybe if he could put something together going on down the line, what if you get a second or a third card and see some upgrades? Love to see people succeeding within the culture. But you guys let me know in the comments down below, what battle are you looking most excited to out of the 4, or really out of the 3? And what is your prediction for Twork and Jazz? Obviously, it's going to have big implications. Jazz is making, like, I mentioned Twork's late Cody run, did not mention Jazz's Wody run. It looks like her and Hustler are going to be sitting there at 1 and 2 again this year for the most part, unless something drastic changes. And battles like this can determine if she's the 1 or the 2 in that. But it's been Jay Small Reviews again, y'all. Like, comment, subscribe. I'm going to catch you on the next one, man. Peace.